like a Hellcat.
Hey there YouTube, this is Logan here from Toxicity, and today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about GTA 5. So, for those of us who have played the game long enough, we've all tried to buy the fastest, coolest supercars in the game. The Banshee 900R, the Progen G20, the Zentorno, Osiris, or the Adder. All these amazingly cool looking supercars that say on the page when you buy them that they'll go 200 plus miles an hour. But in reality, none of these cars can break 146. Now, I know that in a recent update, Rockstar's replaced their usual miles per hour or kilometers per hour rating with a little bar on your screen whenever you buy a car in-store, in-game. Now, this still doesn't subtract from the fact that some sources will still lie to you and give you these kilometer per hour or mile per hour ratings that really aren't right. So what do you do when you really want to break your speed record? If you really want to be the fastest man in GTA 5, or woman, or transvestite, I don't know what the fuck you are. Well, there are a few different things you're going to need if you can't afford a faster car, or if you really can't get your car to go any faster. Unfortunately, for those of you who just got done jacking off and are just kind of sitting there in your bed all lazy and don't want to do much and just want to find a quick and easy way to beat your speed record in GTA 5, I'm sorry, but you're going to need a friend for this, or at least somebody who's willing to help you out with this. Now, a lot of 12-year-olds sitting there watching this video are going to be like, oh my god, well, I'm too lazy, and I don't want to do all this work, and I don't want to find a person to do this with. Oh my god, I'm going to go to the next video on this, because this guy's not helpful. Well, I'd like to tell you, I'm being very helpful and cooperative right now, and this is an extremely easy trick you can do, and you just need one other person for it. It's really not that much. So now that you've waited this long after me ranting about lazy people and whatnot, it's time to show you how to actually do the trick. So, I'm actually not going to do that.
See ya.
Alright, in all seriousness, you're going to want to find one of those black private jets that spawn fairly commonly in the airport, or you're going to want to find or buy something similar to it. I wouldn't recommend using any of the military jets because they go so fast and they're so small that if you try to push a car with it, it's just not going to work right. It's just going to go over the car and it's going to be a disaster. Next, you're going to need a car that's tall enough that it doesn't go under the wing of the aircraft you've selected, but you're also going to want to make sure that your car isn't so slow or so heavy that it just slows down the aircraft and causes your car to go slower than you really need it to go. So you're going to want to put your plane at the very end of the runway, as far back as you possibly can. Then you're going to want to park your car kind of at the wing of the plane, in between the wing and the body of the plane, almost like the plane is giving the car a hug. You're going to want to make sure your car is almost completely parallel with that plane. If you can't get it completely parallel, then make sure it's turned into the body of the plane. If it's turned outwards at all, it's going to start drifting off of the wing, and then eventually it's just going to fly off and, not work. Once you're all in position, you're going to want to have one person in the plane and one person in the car. Obviously, the person in the car is going to be the person who wants to break their speed record. The person in the plane is going to gun their throttle, and then once they get up to speed, the person in the car is going to want to gun their throttle, and that'll just take off a little bit of the strain on the plane's engines, so you can get really fast. By the time you hit the end of the runway, you're going to want to have the person in the plane pull up, unless you want your plane to blow up and possibly your car, which would be kind of catastrophic, but really it wouldn't hurt the experiment that much. So if you do this correctly, you should hit about 150 to 151 miles an hour. Now that's pretty fast considering that the Adder can only go 146 miles per hour under its own power. Now, here's just a little bit of footage of me and Colton doing this together. Doing the drag by myself in this big military transport, I could only hit about 75 miles per hour. But under the power of the plane, I could hit about 107 miles per hour. That's a pretty significant change. That's about 32 miles an hour. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys found it enjoyable and a little bit helpful, and I guess I'll see you next time.